All right, everybody, thus far, we're halfway through the season of X-Men 97. That means episode 5 out of the 10 episodes. And my God, has this series started off hot. It is, I think, like episodes 1 and 2 were everything I wanted them to be, and episode 5 was amazing. Maybe, like, I don't even know, like the best cartoon episode of recent memory. Excuse me. Episodes 3 and 4 were cool. We'll get into that. But, just thus far through the season, I think that the show does a lot perfectly in terms of just regarding how they approach like being a sequel to the other show from the 90s. And although the animation style is obviously different, like it's difficult to try to imitate 90s animation without just looking a certain way and just being like, oh wow, this is just from this generation anyways. We may as well not even we may as well not have even tried that. And that's kind of a problem that they've ran into. And the animation has a little bit of throttling within it. Like certain fight scenes have a bigger budget that's obviously more than their counterparts that are smaller budget and like just characters talking. I've kind of been trashing on the show even though I just said I really liked it. But I'm not sure who this show is for. Is it for children like the other show was? Was the other show even for children? I don't think so. But I think this show is for X-Men fans, just something to easily digest in and get within the world of the characters. And I think that a lot of things have obviously changed since the 90s, and shows just run differently and audience retention is different. And that's why, like, if you watch the 90s series, Morph makes like stupid jokes and does like a little giggling thing, and uh characters are pretty stereotypical in the 90s show. And to be fair, a lot of this continues into X-Men 97. For instance, like Rogue is just constantly reminding the audience, it's like, uh Shoga, no, that was terrible. That was terrible. Shoga, you look about as scared as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, and I can't touch people. In game, it's like I'm gonna refer to myself in the third person. But what we're doing in that adds to the personality of the show, and I think that it actually makes the show better. Um, I think that thus far in the series, we've done a good job of like spreading the wealth among the characters and making everybody have their moment and everybody is being cool. Like, to the casual fan, to um, I guess people that aren't really that heavy into it, they might assume that Wolverine would be the main character of this, and he would be um, just dominating screen time in that regard. But Cyclops gets his turns, Jean Grey gets her turn, and everybody's like cool within the show. Like Rogan, everybody has a storyline that's important in the show. Except like weirdly, other than Beast, he's kind of there assisting other people's storylines. That might be like a second half of season 1 thing that we might get into. But other than him, it's really like even Morph, like he's scared of Mr. Sinister. Bishop, he's going back with I'm blanking. Is it Nathan? Yeah. But yeah, Cable has his own storyline. Bishop has his own. Morph is important, and these are like characters that aren't that popular within stuff like the movies. Like it's a dichotomy in that aspect. Like Bryan Singer does some cool stuff. He does other stuff that's lame, like puts them in the dumb outfits. The biker gang stuff. But this show, just like the 90s show, we're fully embracing everything that we do within comic books. Mystique, for one, like I was saying to the X-Men movies comparison, Mystique is heavily in that, not as much as the aspect of Rebecca Romaine, but as soon as Jennifer Lawrence signs on to the films, like she becomes a key player within the movies. And we're not like scared of that and like shoehorning Mystique into the show more because of that. This feels disconnected from the movies, and it feels like it's actually loving and appreciative of the source material, which, comic books. Um, but yeah, Rogan Gambit, they have this love triangle going on, and I think that it really works, and I don't think that would be able to happen within the movies, partly because of age ratings and whatever, and it would kind of be corny in the way that I would imagine it that they would execute it. Um, they even do Magneto like that too. Like they have him looking so fly in this. Like he's like the people's champ in this. Like every middle-aged white woman is going after Magneto probably if they're watching this show. But yeah, their love triangle is cool. There's a lot of like cool quotes within the show. Like the show is weirdly profound for being a kids show. I shouldn't actually say that because like I said before, I don't know who the show is for. I think it is for X-Men, yeah, fans, like not necessarily the movies, but people who are into the comic books. And I think that it being on Disney Plus isn't just for the purpose of comic book fans being able to watch it. Like that's like saying like, Baldur's Gate is incredibly popular because so many people are just into tabletop RPGs. Like that's not the case. Like it's just an amazing game. This is an amazing show, and it being on Disney Plus rather than like on demand or some type of TV channel, like it's introducing casual MCU fans into the X-Men, and that's really cool. It's always been weird how like there's a universe that's not synonymous with the MCU, or connected to it rather, that stars Hugh Jackman and James Marsden and Jennifer Lawrence, James McAvoy, Patrick Stewart, Michael Fassbender. Who else isn't even in the movies? Like, but it's just weird that there's so many stars in this. But then you get people who are like, "Oh yeah, I've seen every MCU movie, and I'm a huge Marvel fan," but they couldn't name like more than 5 X-Men characters because they've never seen the movies or read anything. And I think this could be a good starting point. Like, and I know that it's like a sequel to the 90s cartoon, and it would, I guess it would be inappropriate to just jump in randomly into the series, but even the series jumps in randomly into the series. If you watch the first episode of the X-Men cartoon, it's like, all right, well, the X-Men are already set up. Wolverine's already his own thing. Everything with Sabretooth and Wolverine happened in the past, or that, and like everything with Germany in Magneto's timeline. That actually comes back up in episode 5. He speaks to that one person in German, and that was really cool. But yeah, I think everything this show is doing is pretty much working. It struggles with the time format a bit, like that 4th episode, I believe, with Jubilee and Sunspot. Like it gets weird when we transition to Storm and Forge, and then that's been going on for like about 5 or 10 minutes within the show, and then like Forge is like, "I love you" to Storm, and that was the entire audience's reaction. That's how everybody felt when she smacked him. That was a reflection, a personification of how everybody else felt hearing that. But yeah, I think that X-Men 97 just needs to keep doing what it's already doing, and that should be easy enough in theory, right?